This is something that should be talked about. It's something that should be understood about why crazy people like us are doing the crazy things that we do.
Hey everyone! We were sitting here by the fire and we thought, what a better time to let you guys know the 5 reasons why we homestead. We were asked by the Green Dream Project to do this. They're way down in Arizona. Number 1, get out of the city. We
hate the city.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not city people.
We're not city people.
We're not city people.
I'll be a little more gentle about it.
I don't like having neighbors.
No.
I don't like having people telling me what I can do on my land.
No.
So we're living in an unorganized township, which is great because even though we will follow code and do everything right, you don't need to ask someone to put a shed on your property. We're just not city people. When you live an hour drive, like there and back from the city, you don't go that often.
No.
Unless you need to.
I tend to avoid it.
Number 2.
Number 2, self-sufficiency. Less dependence on the government. This is a big thing. One example that I can give is a number of years ago, not the entire, but a great portion of the eastern North America was hit with a huge blackout.
2003.
2003?
Yeah.
Caddis, come here! Sorry, she's chasing a coyote down the driveway.
That wouldn't have been
Come
good.
here!
Yeah. And everyone was left without power.
Everyone was left without power. Some people for upwards of a week.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine if that had happened in the middle of the winter? Okay?
Like the ice storms in Quebec.
Like the ice storm. And it does happen for short periods of time. Most people end up without power for, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, but several days without power in the wintertime, you'd be lucky to stay warm.
Yeah. People were dying in Canada when that happened because they were lighting their barbecue in their garage and dying of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yep. During the ice storm.
The ice storm. That was 2014, I think.
Yeah. So where we are, surrounded by woods, this is all our land. This is one of the key things for us, is heat. Not only heat, but we can also cook with all these trees that you see around us.
We're setting up to be able to supply our own power for every other thing you need, like getting our water out of the well, lights. We have a solar system set up.
Very small solar system right now.
Very small, but at some point we'll be there. We just got here.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, give us a break.
It's back up. It's back up for us.
Yeah,
It'll
and
run,
the generator.
Yeah, and the generator as well, but again, that requires fuel.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, number 3. Satisfy our curiosity and grow our knowledge base. How does it work to harness solar energy and provide heat and run your stove with it? Build a solar energy system. That's how you satisfy that curiosity. That's how you grow that knowledge base. Anything to add?
I like to learn about fishing.
Yeah. Gives you more time to fish. Which kind of leads to another one on our list is knowing where your food comes from.
Big one.
Big one.
Very big one. Look at all the food recalls, especially on something as simple lately as romaine lettuce.
Beef. Beef's big one in the States right now.
Yeah. So things like that. I mean, obviously here where we are right now, we can't grow food all year round. Fresh produce anyways. But that's a really big thing for us. Last year in Manitoba, before we moved here, we managed to grow, can, and freeze enough produce out of our garden and our greenhouse to carry us almost all the way into this growing season.
We had to throw some out in the freezer when we moved.
We did, yeah. We had to ditch a little bit of it.
We were able to keep all of our canned stuff, but freezer stuff doesn't travel well in the summer.
Now, I know that, a lot of folks are going to say that just because you're growing your own food doesn't mean it's going to be safe. And you're right. That's definitely a factor. But the thing is, if we mess up with growing our food, canning our food, anything like that, that's on us. That's something that we caused, and it could be just through our own ignorance of some aspect of preparation. But
we know it's the tomato seed we put in there. We know what we put on that tomato.
The amount of chemicals that food is grown with nowadays is astounding. It blows my mind. And it's because it's grown for a supply market. It's not grown for a demand market. If it was grown for a demand market, crops would be reduced significantly in size. Think about how much food gets thrown away every year, every day, every minute.
And things are mislabeled. Like you might think you're eating cod, but you're eating halibut or sucker.
Yep. The majority of commercial fishing practices are completely unsustainable. The data is there. The studies have been done. People can look at that however they want. And if we want fish is one thing that we can go out, one meat that we can go out any time of the year and we can catch it. And we can bring it home, we can prepare it, we can eat it.
Last but not least, working for the weekend. We wanted to stop working for the weekend. So this has a little bit of a backstory. I don't know, it was quite a few years ago. I had this great job, 9 to 5, pretty steady pay. I was in my early 20s, and they offered me, they're like, Amanda, it's great, you now get a pension. And for most people, that would be probably the best thing ever, right? But it freaked me out. I was like, I don't want to do this until I retire. I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. So for me, that meant going back to school, getting a few more letters behind my name. And that really helped me because I love what I do right now. But it also led me to write down on a little piece of paper a little quote that said, when you wish your weeks away, years disappear. And that little piece of paper, it's like wrinkled and a little torn, but it's been on my fridge since then. It's been on our fridge, and it was a big reason why we moved here. Because Dave would look at this little piece of paper on the fridge, and we were homesteading in our last place, but he still was just waiting for the weekend. He was waiting for weeks to go by. And so the reason why we homestead, we moved here, is a smaller mortgage. Dave can work on the property, grow our food, fulfill those other 4 factors, and we're not wishing our weeks away. We're not, as the song says, working for the weekend. How about you guys in the comments talk about the 5 things that makes you want to or made you decide to homestead? We're not gonna tag anyone in this one.
And if you haven't started homesteading yet, but it's the path you feel like you're going down, why? Let us know in the comments why you're wanting to go in that direction. Jim, Jessica, Green Dream Project, thanks for tagging us. This is something that should be talked about. It's something that should be understood about why crazy people like us are doing the crazy things that we do.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to explain to some folks that are very, very city oriented and that they can't wrap their heads around why people would rather live this way than their way. And I can't wrap my head around why people want to live that way. So, till next time, folks. See ya.